Hey everyone, my name's Dale Stiles, and I started using social media in a digital sense at some point in the early 90s. Now, you may not think of that as being social media, but I do. I was part of a bunch of computer geeks hanging out online in what we call the bulletin board system, or BBS, and this was in around San Diego, California. It was a basic setup, but we could chat, we could share files and ideas. We could also get together on the second Saturday of the month and cram ourselves into a large banquet room where vendors had set up dozens of folding tables and cardboard boxes full of the latest gadgets and computer parts. And most of us were there to learn more about computers, but some were programmers and others were tech geeks like myself. We were always trying to enhance our computers in some way, and we'd buy bigger fans and stuff in an effort to make it run cooler so it run faster, or would upgrade the processor, the memory, add hard drives, CD-ROMs, DVDs, whatever. And we kind of, the whole computer thing was kind of like this. It was kind of like the hot rod era of the 50s. Everybody got around and turning wrenches, and we're turning screwdrivers and stuff and putting stuff into these computers. So it's kind of the same thing, but 40 years later. It was a digital version of the hot rod days. And in fact, my wife often joked that it would have been a lot cheaper and a lot more fun for the whole family if I had purchased an old hot rod and fixed it up. So it was also around this time that AOL became a big thing, and everyone, not just the geeks, started hanging out on AOL Instant Messenger. And we were introduced to people we'd never met in real life. So this was like, wow, this is different. And so we chat online, most of the time, and then we would actually meet at a local restaurant and have an AOL party. We'd get together, we'd bring the family, we'd sit around, eat a meal, and joke, and then we'd go back home and get back online and start joking about whatever. And this was a lot more enjoyable for my wife and kids, so I kind of moved away from the BBS stuff and kind of moved into the AOL thing. Pretty soon, though, we moved away from California, moved up to Illinois, and video streaming became the next big thing. So unlike the numerous social events we had in San Diego, I didn't get involved with very many people outside the people that I worked with. I was teaching radar and mainframe computers, so we had plenty of geeks all over us and all around us. And many of us lived close by, so we met up at each other's houses, and sometimes we'd host a block party or something. Online, I hosted several web pages that centered around my interests and started to dabble a little bit in HTML programming, and I did some photo and some video editing. Toward the end of my time in Illinois, a friend in Dallas begged me to get on MySpace. Everybody's heard of MySpace. I didn't know anything about it, didn't want anything to do with it, but he finally convinced me to sign up so I could share things with others and promote his Christian rock band. So I said, okay, and I set up a page. It was kind of neat because I was able to set it up a lot similar to most of the web pages that I'd set up. I could still use the background that I had created. You could get in there with HTML, and you could do your background, do your text, do your fonts. You could have things float. It was cool. It was like some of the pages that I created. But the thing that kind of hooked me, that I was really impressed with how many people I had encountered online on MySpace that were from my hometown in Oklahoma. So I'm up here in Illinois, and I haven't talked to these people in years, and they're on MySpace. I had lost touch with so many people, and now we were catching up on this platform. We got to relive some old memories. Some were good, some were probably better left alone. But it was a lot of fun catching up and talking to so many people. Old friends, fellow classmates, even some of my old teachers. I mean, seriously, this was what the internet was built for, right? Well, it was actually built for the military, but anyway. Soon after I got the opportunity to move to Hawaii. And while I was there, I was told that Facebook was the best way to stay in touch with family while we traveled. So nearly everybody that I knew on MySpace was on Facebook. Plus, there were other people on Facebook, so there were more classmates, more old friends, more teachers. It was incredible. So we got hooked pretty quick, and in short order, I got my whole family involved, and we were all on the platform just as quickly as we could be. So, since then, all of these other platforms have come along. I now have Twitter, where I mostly follow weather chasers in my area, and that way I can get up to the minute updates where severe weather is nearby or near somebody I love. I also get, a few news channels this way, but mostly I just kind of leave it as my extension to weather experts. A couple of folks at work got me onto Instagram, and I found that to be a lot like Facebook, but without the long narratives that go with the photos, and I didn't quite like that as much. I've always been a little bit wordy, so the idea of a blog became more of an interest, and I decided to create one. And I wrote for a little while, but since no one was actually reading it, I kind of let it fall to the wayside. I've always found Facebook to be my favorite. The idea of sharing photos and videos and life events with family and close friends online is what I think of when I think of being social. When I think of social media, I think of Facebook. But boy, have things changed. Honestly, I miss the days when we enjoyed being on Facebook. And now it seems like the platform's all about what's viral, what we're offended by, what we're not supposed to say, what we're not supposed to do. Don't say this, don't say that, don't touch this, don't touch that, and don't call me, don't label me, don't blah blah, right? What used to be a great way to spend time with folks I cared about, but couldn't because they were so far away, has become a platform that is filled with all kinds of disrespect, hate speech, and social division. I still log on, but I don't spend near as much time on it as I used to. I've told myself many times that I'm going to delete my account, jump on my Harley, and travel across the country. Now, I'm still a computer geek, and I still, spend a lot of time online, but I spend most of that time on YouTube nowadays. I actually prefer it to most other platforms. I enjoy things like TED Talks and other types of videos where I at least feel like I'm learning something. Hopefully, the videos I'm watching are either teaching me to be a better person, a better son, a better husband, a better father to my adult children, and a better disciple of Christ. If not, I guess I better log off. Thanks, guys.